Subscribe to the channel Educare Sada and press the bell icon for the latest videos. Thank you.
Good morning, students. Today we are going to see our next topic. Next chapter, that is classification of plants. This is a science 2 first chapter, in which we are going to see n number of plants, how the plants are classified according to their characteristics. So let us see living organisms. Living organisms are divided in two parts, that is prokaryotic and eukaryotic. It means according to their existence they have been arranged in two categories, that is prokaryotic and eukaryotic. So further, prokaryotic is classified into monera, and eukaryotic is classified into unicellular and multicellular. According to the cells, that is number of cells present, they are categorized in unicellular. Uni means one, cellular means one cell, and multicellular means they are containing n number of cells, means more than one cells. In unicellular, the example is protista. In multicellular, again there is two bifurcated, that is one is plant and one is animal type, with cell wall. The plant cell having cell wall and the animal cells are without cell. So with cell walls, two groups are being classified, that is autotrophic and heterotrophics. Autotrophics means the species, the organisms which are depend on ourselves, means self-nutritious plants. Okay, auto means self and trophic means to nourish self, and heterotrophics means dependent on others. And without cell wall is animalia. You have already studied the kingdoms Monera, Protista and fungi of the 5 kingdom classification system proposed by Robert Whittaker for the study of living organisms. In previous standard you might know something about this. Okay, what are the hidden secrets of kingdom Plantae which imparts this green freshness to our surrounding? Just how much diversity is there in this kingdom? Let us see. Now this Plantae means this classification, the diversity is huge, according to their leaf structure, according to their flowering, according to their seeds. The n number of types are there through which the plants are classified in various groups. So kingdom Plantae. Okay. So we are going to see a kingdom Plantae in which are special cell organelles that differentiate plant cells from animal cells. The group of autotrophic living organisms having eukaryotic cells with cell walls is the group of plants. Okay, what they are going to say, that the group of autotrophic living organisms means a certain group of autotrophs. Autotrophs means self-nutritious living organisms having eukaryotic cells wall. Eukaryotic cells wall mean either it will be unicellular or it will be multicellular, with cell walls in the group of plants. With cell walls means eukaryotic, with multicellular and with cell walls means Plantae. Okay. Plants have become autotrophics as they can perform photosynthesis with the help of chlorophylls. Photosynthesis is a process in which a plant takes a help of sunlight in presence of carbon dioxide and water. The reaction takes place and a photosynthesis process is occurred. Due to presence of chlorophyll is a color pigment which is green in color, due to which the photosynthesis takes place. Usually a tree or a plant having leaves usually green. So this process, the photosynthesis process, is occurred in leaf part. Living organisms of kingdom Plantae are the main source of food for other living organisms. They are telling that the living organisms which are self-nutritious, that self-nutritious plant, we are dependent on that, no? The fruits, the leafy vegetables we are eating. So living organism of kingdom Plantae are the main source of food for other living organisms. Without plants we are unable to eat food. Okay, our every foodstuffs are related to our plants. Further, basic classification. What is basic classification? The presence or absence of organs is the first criterion for classification of plants. Means what are the organs? Organs means the conduction of food, the root part, the stem part, the flowering part is present or not. That is the first criteria for classification of plants. The presence or absence of separate conducting tissues for conduction of water and food is the next consideration for classification. So, do the plant conduction of tissues means xylem. So, cotyledons means we are having seed, okay, a leaf-like structure present in seeds. This is known as cotyledons. So, how many cotyledons are present? That is also important part for classification of plants. At the higher level of plant classification, different characteristics are considered for classification. Example, depending upon the absence or presence of flowers, fruits and seeds, plants are classified as cryptogams or phanerogams. Depending upon whether seeds are enclosed within a fruit or not, phanerogams are classified as gymnosperms and angiosperms. Angiosperms are further classified as monocots or dicots depending upon number of cotyledons in seed. What they are going to say that in higher level of classification, various characteristics are considered. Example, depending upon absence or presence of flowers, fruits and seeds. If flower is present, definitely it will conduct further fruit or seeds. Plants are classified as cryptogams and phanerogams. Two descriptions has been telling that. So here what they are explaining that if a plant having seeds, fruits, flowers, then they are classified as cryptogams and phanerogams. If it is bearing seeds or fruits, they are further classified as gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay, whether they are conducting seed or not, if it is conducting seed, then they are classified into monocots and dicots. Okay, so further, next topic is cryptogams. Cryptogams search for a pond with greenish water, collect some of the green fibers from the water. Put the fibers in the petri dish and wash them clean with water. Put one of the fiber in a drop of water and cover a glass slide and spread it over straight. What they are telling that go at one pond, collect some water, the water which has greenery on its surface. So collect that water and put some fibers of that green part on petri dish, okay, and wash them clean with water. A petri dish is a dish with, this is a glass, a small dish, okay, which is made up of glass, is known as petri dish. So take that fibers on that petri dish, wash it carefully with water, take some leaves of this greenish part on a slide, okay, put some water on it and cover it with cover slip, okay, and observe this specimen under compound microscope. Put a cover slip over the slide and observe under a compound microscope. Do you see the spirally arranged green thread like chloroplast in the cells in that straight fiber? This plant is known as Spirogyra. This division 1, Thylophyta. Now this cryptogams is classified in various parts, around 3 to 4 parts. We are going to see one by one. First is Thylophyta. These plants grow mainly in water. The Thylophyta plants are grow mainly in water. This group of plants which do not have specific part like root, stem, leaves, means this, the ulva, cara, okay, these plants are not specified under roots, stems or leaves, so but are autotrophic due to presence of chlorophyll, is called algae. Algae shows great diversity. They may be unicellular or multicellular and microscopic or large. Okay, they might be unicellular or multicellular, but the category which it belongs is It is not well developed. Okay, they may be unicellular, multicellular. For example, algae as Spirogyra, Eulothrix, Ulva, Sargassum, etc. These are some of the examples. So this is an homework for you to Google it and collect these pictures. Okay, look at over how Spirogyra looks, how Eulothrix looks, Ulva, Sargassum, how they looks. You have to search it. Okay. Some of these are found in fresh water, while some are found in saline water. Saline water means the water which is little bit salty. These plants usually have a soft and fiber-like body. Various types of fungi like yeast and molds which do not have chlorophylls are also included in these groups. Okay, fungi, the yeast you know. Okay, is a type of fungus which is edible for us. We are applying this yeast in our foodstuffs like sambar, idlis, okay, in breads, and molds which do not have chlorophyll as also included in this group. As they are not containing a chlorophyll, a green pigment is not contained, but due to presence of cells, that is unicellular or multicellular, they are categorized under Thallophyta, and according to their structure they are not categorized under stem, root and leaves. So next is Bryophyta. Slowly the divisions are going to be developed or advanced. Okay, you may have seen a lush green soft carpet and old walls, bricks and rocks in the rainy season. No, on wall a greenery part is being developed during rainy seasons. So that part or that plant, that organism is coming under Bryophyta. This group of plant is called amphibians of the plant kingdom because they grow in moist soil but need water for reproduction. So this is a part where the plant is going to reproduce. Okay, these plants are thyloid, multicellular and autotrophic. Why autotrophic? They are also green in color. Multicellular because they are coming under eukaryotics, and thyloid means they are surface plant. Okay, they reproduce to spore formation. Spores means a small, imagine this is a leaf of some of the plant, and spores means small dot parts are present on their surface which are responsible for, one spore is responsible for the growth of another new species of plant. So they are spores. They reproduce by spore formation. The structure of the plant body of the bryophytes is flat, ribbon like long, without a true root, stem and leaves. Instead they have stem like or leaf like part and root like rhizoids. Okay, these are all like parts. They are not actually developed. They do not have specific tissue for conduction of food and water. Examples are moss, Funaria, Merchantia, Anthroceros, Riccia, etc. So again, this is an homework. Do search all these species, due to which you may across to know how they look. Okay, at least you do little bit of homework for your entertainment purpose. Okay, so here are some of the examples: Funaria, Merchantia and Anthroceros. So this is a rhizoids. They can't say as roots, no, that's why. This is leaf like part, this is a stem like part. So stem like part is known as stalk. In each example there is a stem like part, leaf like part and rhizoids. Next is Pteridophyta. This is not a Petridophyta. Okay, P is silent, so pronounce it like Pteridophyta. Plants from this group have well developed roots, stems and leaves and separate tissues for conduction of food and water. Now in third steps, a well developed plant is explained. Okay, plants have from this group have well developed roots. Roots are well developed, stems separate tissue for conduction of food and water, but they do not bear flowers and fruits. They reproduce with the help of spores. So these are the leaf part. Backside of the backside of this leaf, we are having a spores. When a wind blows or a insect or a bird fly over this leaf, these spores are get sprinkled on soil and a new plant is developed. But they do not bear flowers and fruits. They reproduce with the help of spores formed along the back or posterior surface of their leaves. So on the back side of their leaves, they are present spores. Examples of ferns like Nephrolepis. This is a fern, okay, which is known as Nephrolepis, Marsilia, Pteris, Adiantum, Equistitum, Selaginella, Lycopodium, etc. Again, search all these plants, okay. See how they look, how they are having spores on their posterior part or anterior part, means on back side or on front side, okay. These plants reproduce asexually by spore formation. Here no gametes are forming, that's why asexual reproduction is taking place with the help of spore formation, and sexually by zygote formation. They have a well developed conducting system. Now next our topic will be all these plants reproduce by spore formation. They are called cryptogams, as their reproductive organs cannot be seen. Now, the reproductive organs are hidden. That's why they are included in cryptogams. Crypto means hidden and gams means reproductive organs. So, next is phanerogams. So, our next topic is phanerogams. Plants which have special structures for reproduction and produce seeds are called phanerogams. In these plants, after the process of reproduction, seeds are formed which contains embryo and stored food. During germination of seeds, the stored food is used for the initial growth of the embryo, depending upon whether seeds are enclosed in a fruit or not. Phanerogams are classified into two, that is gymnosperms and angiosperm. Okay, these gymnosperms and angiosperms are responsible for the reproduction or the formation of new. Division 1 is gymnosperms. Observe all garden plants like cycas, Christmas tree, hibiscus, lily, etc. and compare them. Note the similarities and differences among them. Which differences do you notice between gymnosperms and angiosperms? Okay. Now gymnosperms are mostly, how we are going to differentiate the gymnosperms and angiosperms. So for identification, mostly gymnosperms are evergreen, perennial and woody. Their stems are without branches. The leaves form a crown. These plants bear male and female flowers on different sporophylls of the same plants. Seeds of these plants do not have natural covering, that is, these plants do not form fruits and are therefore called gymnosperms. Gymno means naked and sperms means seeds. Okay, the fruits, these plants do not form fruits and therefore they are gymnosperms. Okay, examples are cycas, Picea, Thuja, Pinus. So what they are going to say, what they are telling us, these stems are without branches. Look at this cycas. This cycas having no branches. There is only one part, that is a leafy part as a crown. These stems are without branches. The leaves are as crowns. These plants bear male and female flowers on different sporophylls. Okay, all these categories they are included. So next, soak the seeds of corn, beans, groundnuts, tamarinds, mango, wheat, etc. in water for 8 to 10 hours. After they are soaked, check each seed to see whether it divides into 2 equal halves or not. Okay. Now the flowers these plants bear are their reproductive organs. Flowers developed into fruits and seeds and form within the fruits. So these plants are not having fruits and flowers, but these plants are having conducting fruits and seeds. Thus their seeds are covered, hence they are called as angiosperms. These seeds are being covered. Okay, that's why they are known as angiosperm. These seeds are are naked. We can see with our naked eyes. That's why they are under gymnosperms. The plants whose seeds can be divided into two equal halves or dicotyledons are called dicotyledonous plants, and whose seeds cannot be covered into equal halves, they are monocotyledonous plants. Okay, you might have come across the differentiation between dicotyledonous plants and monocotyledonous plant. Okay, the seeds, that are two seeds are present, that's why dicotyledonous, and seed is one, that is single cotyledonous. By differentiating its root part, the roots are well developed and primary root is present, that are taproot system. Taproot means this is a taproot system. Okay, this is a taproot system, and fibrous roots means this is a taproot system, and fibrous roots means various fibers are present on their root part. Hard example, banyan tree, and here monocotyledonous plant. Stem is usually hollow, false or disc-like, that is onion, banana and bamboo. Leaf is reticulate veneation, and here is parallel veneation. What do you mean by reticulate veneation? Reticulate veneation means this is a leaf and these are the veins. The veins are further differentiate into various parts, and a parallel veneation means a banana tree a banana leaf with this type of veneation. This is a parallel veneation. Next is flowers. Flowers with 4 or 5 parts or in their multiples, and here means petals. Flowers with 3 parts or in multiples of 3, that is trimeres. Here may be 4 or 5. Okay, means the petals of the flowers may be like 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. So tetra or penta, and in this only 3 parts, that is trimeres. So next our kingdom is Plantae. So we are going to see by tabular form what we have studied till here. Kingdom Plantae is categorized into 2, cryptogams and phanerogams. Okay, cryptogams we have studied 3, Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. In phanerogams, gymnosperm and angiosperm, and in angiosperm, dicotyledonous and monocotyledonous. Okay, so students, this is a flow chart of our chapter which have explained kingdom Plantae in a flow diagram. So this chapter is over. It is quite easy and small, so do learn and complete your homework which I have given, that you have to search these plants, okay, all such plants and their images, and keep their classification or division in your mind. So thank you, bye, take care.